Hi everyone, so I'm going to continue on the lesson. This is here multiplication and division. So we did addition and subtraction, and for addition and subtraction uh, for, we know that we have to round to the least decimal place. Okay, now I'm gonna teach you for multiplication and division. So these two operations are different from addition and subtraction. For addition and subtraction, you round to the least decimal place. Here, you round to the least significant figures. So significant figures are just actual numbers you have in the question. So remember, if I tell you the numbers are approximate, okay, if I tell you the numbers are approximate, means you have to round appropriately, and appropriately means you have to do for multiplication and division to the least significant figures, for additional subtraction to the least decimal place. Okay, so you need to just round and just behave just differently for different operation. Okay, so just according to the operation. So multiplication and division to the least significant figures, addition subtraction to the least decimal place, and for whole numbers on addition and subtraction, you know what to do. Okay, for those zeros that I showed you. Okay, so here, for example, I have this question. I have three significant figure here. I have two, sorry about that, two significant figure. So which one is the least one? So look at here. So this one is here, so the least one. So then you find the answer. The answer is 63.24. Okay, then you underline that, you check that it is almost 63. Done. Okay, so I want to see this part. This is part number one, the real answer, how you are rounding, and the rounded answer. So four parts. So make sure to show me all of them, because otherwise I ask why. I ask why for this part. I ask what happened for this part. I ask what was the number for this part. And then at the end, what is the rounded answer? But some students, they just show the rounded answer, and I don't accept. Okay, so how about for the next? You have three significant figure. You have three significant figure. You have to round to three significant figure. Okay, so you have 63.488. Okay, so you underline this one, you check the next one, so it is 63.5. Okay, so you are showing me all the four parts here. Okay, so how about that? Here you have three significant figure, both of them centimeter. So you have four significant here. You have to round to three significant here because it's multiplication. Your answer is 63.5748. Okay, centimeter squared because it's multiplication. If I have unit, I don't remove them. I have to include them properly. Here is centimeter multiple centimeter, so I do centimeter squared. Okay, then what is the answer? Okay, the answer is this. I underline this. I check the next one, so it is 63.6 is the answer. Okay, and centimeter squared. I don't forget I have unit. Okay, so now I continue here. So it says, remember, whenever you multiply or divide with your calculator, okay, so of course you are having just more digits. Okay, so meaning less, because we need to round to the least significant uh, figures or significant digits. Okay, so remember, when you are rounding or when you are working with numbers in multiplication and division and even subtraction, addition, so as I said, you have to round just the final answer. Okay, so don't round the first step, because sometimes students, they add and then round and then multiply and then round and then divide and then round and round and round for each step during the process. That's wrong. You have to round at the end. Okay, so just at the end. Let me see. Okay, so that's the main thing I wanted to mention. And Let me see if I remember what I wanted to say here, or maybe I just wanted to emphasize on something. Okay, so just that. Make sure to round at the end, not just round in the middle of the process and step by step. No. Okay. Okay, I wanted to mention this. Sometime, as I mentioned before, you have a word problem which has part A, part B, part C. You find the answer for part A, you round at the end, but then you want to use that answer for part B. Okay, make sure to don't use the rounded answer. Use more digits, because then in this case also you are rounding and rounding. Okay, so although you are done by part one and you go to part two, so I will show you what do I mean by examples. Okay, so here, so as I said, so three significant figure, two significant figure, and I round to two significant figure. Okay, so the answer is 17.76. So I underline that, I check that, it is almost 18. Okay, so I'm showing all the four parts. How about here? Two significant figure, four significant figure, and sometimes we write just significant digits. Okay, so two significant figure, and the answer is actually 2.5, 6, 7, 31, 37, 13. And then I just underline that, check that, it is almost 2.6. Okay, so I don't need to show all the digits. Okay, that's just taking my time. Okay, so how many digits I need to show? See here said two significant digit. So if I just show three significant digit and then I round it, it's enough. I accept. I don't need to see really more. Maybe if you are just working in a company, they want to just ask, for example, what was the digit after. So maybe you have to ask. But here for me, when you have to round to two significant digits, if you just show me three and they just underline the second one and check the next one, I accept. Okay, but make sure to show what was your answer before rounding, because maybe, for example, someone wants to know what was your real answer and how did you round, and maybe they want to decide differently. Maybe they want to say, okay, this time I don't want you to do this method of rounding because of some reason, and you really have to know what was going on there. Okay, so how about this one? You have multiplication. Okay, so you have 6 point this times 2 point this, 10 this and this. Okay, don't consider rounding for this part, but for this part, three significant digit, three significant figure, three significant figure, and then I find the answer, which is 12.688. Okay, multiple 10 power minus 1. Okay, this is the result here. So maybe I show my result, which is maybe I show my way, which is 3 minus 4. Okay, so now I want three significant, so I underline that, check that, it is almost 12.7 multiple 10 power minus 1. Okay, so, and I can say the answer is 1.27, because I need to go to significant, scientific notation. Okay, so scientific notation answer. Okay, so I use 10 power minus 1 to go to scientific notation answer. Okay, so see here, I have uh, just scientific notation numbers, but because I know they are approximate, I have to round appropriately. But remember, I have to see this in the question, so I have to see if it's really approximate. Okay, how about this? Um, yeah, how about when you have combined calculation? So the correct way to handle combined operation is to keep track of the number of significant digits and decimal place and everything. Okay, what do I mean by that? Do you remember BEDMAS? Wherever you have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and all the operations together, you have to follow BEDMAS. You don't have any other choice. Okay, BEDMAS is everywhere when you have these operations. Okay, so you have to finish bracket, then you go to exponent if you have, then you go to multiplication, division from left to right, then you go to addition, subtraction from left to right. Okay, so of course you have to round also the same way. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Just I want you to listen. Okay, so here I have this question. Which one I do first? Just in terms of BEDMAS. This one first and this one next. Okay, so maybe I just write this one here. Okay, because I need to use the so underneath of the question. Okay, so here I have one decimal place, I have 0 decimal place, I round to 0 decimal place. But what do I have after? What do I have after here? Oh, after that I have multiplication. When I have multiplication, I have to round to the least significant figure. Okay, so I have to say I have 3 significant figure. I have to ask myself, if I have 0 decimal place, how many significant figure I have? Okay, so I need to find the answer, and I consider if I round my answer to 0 decimal place, how many significant figure I get. Okay, so this is the answer here is 24.2. Okay, but I want 0 decimal place here. Okay, so if I want 0 decimal place, how many significant figure I have? 2. So I write it here, 2 significant figure, and then the least one will be 2 significant figure. As I said, you have to round at the end. So remember, don't round this number. Don't round it. Just you have to use your calculator. Just all the digits the same. Don't round. Just at the end you are rounding. But you are just keeping this in your mind that if you finish the bracket, you need 0 decimal place. Okay, so if you have 0 decimal place, how many significant figure you have? But remember, you are using the same digits. So 2 point, this multiple 24.2. You are not rounding. No, no, no. I mean, you are not removing 2 here and say, okay, I want 0 decimal place. If you do that, you are rounding and rounding in the middle of the process, and that's wrong. I just consider this. If I get 0 decimal place, how many significant figure I have? Okay, so I multiply this, no change, so the answer is 51.546. Okay, so as I said, 2 significant figure. Okay, so I underline that, check that, it is almost 52. Okay, now I go here. Okay, which one I do first? Okay, I do this one first and this one next, because multiplication and division, they come first. So it seems like, for example, if I have bracket, okay, I don't have bracket around this because I really don't need it, because for example like that. Okay, so if I have, so it doesn't matter, I don't need, because multiplication and division, they come first. Okay, so I do them first. Okay, so I have 2 significant figure. I have to round to 2 significant figure. But after that, I have subtraction. So I have to care for decimal place. I have 2 decimal place. Now I have to ask myself, if I have 2 significant figure, how many decimal place I have? Okay, I have to find the number. The number is 2.13 forever. 3 goes forever. Okay, so if I want if I need two significant figure, how many decimal place I get? Oh, just one decimal place. And I round to one decimal place then. Okay, so I just ask myself, if I have two significant figure out of that division, how many decimal place I do have, because I need to consider it for subtraction. Okay, so now I do not change my number. No, 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 no. I just do this. No change. No, no, no. I don't round in the middle, because sometimes I see when a student they say two significant figure, they round this, and then instead of 2.1333 forever, they just use 2.1 because they say, oh, it was two significant figure. Okay, and also you do not, you just remember, you just have to use your calculator. You just use your calculator and just enter, you just enter everything in your calculator, everything that I highlighted yellow here. You just calculate it and enter everything that I made it yellow in question 9, just everything once in your calculator, and your calculator gives you the answer. Okay, the answer is oops, the answer is minus, do I have another, yeah, so the answer is minus 0.593 forever. Okay, so then I said one decimal place, so now I underline that, check that it is almost minus this one, because I need one decimal place. Okay, how about next? I think I have two questions here, and then I talk about this, and then these are practice. Okay, so which one I do first? Okay, this one first, this one next, and this one three. Okay, so the first one I have multiplication. So three significant figure, two significant figure, you round to two significant figure. Okay, three significant figure, two significant figure, and you round to two significant figure. Now I have to see out of two significant figure how many decimal place I get for each one, because I have addition after. And for addition, I round to what? I round to the least decimal place. Okay, so I say from here I get, so I change the color to, okay, from here I get, um, from here I get, okay, I get 10.008. Okay, and from here I get 4.665. Okay, okay, so okay, here if I have two significant figure, I have one decimal place. Here if I have two significant figure, I have zero decimal place, and then I round to zero decimal place. Remember, enter all the digits as you see in your calculator, all once. Okay, don't round at all. Means your calculator is doing 10.008 plus 4.665. This is what your calculator does. Don't round, because sometimes I see when I say two significant figure, a student they round this answer and then they use 4.7. That's wrong. You are rounding in the middle of the process. You have to round at the end. Okay, so you just look at the question, you just see bed mass. Based on bed mass, you follow just rounding as well. Okay, multiplication first, significant figure. Multiplication next, significant figure. Addition after, decimal place. But I have to ask myself, if I have two significant figure, how many decimal place I have from each multiplication or division, from each operation. Okay, and then the answer is, the answer is, the answer is, let me see. Okay, so I can calculate here. Yes, yes, yes. The answer is 14.673. Okay, so I said 0 decimal place, so I underline that, I check that, it is almost 15. And yes, look at this, that's the answer. Okay, or maybe I can write it here. So okay, do I have a space here? Yes, so I can write, show it here, and also I can show it here. Okay, good. So I just zoom in and zoom out just to show you, and that's why I don't have a space. Okay, so what happened? Okay, so this one just gone. Okay, how about here? Which one you do first? Okay, bracket first. Which bracket? The first bracket. So you do this one first, this one, and then multiplication. But remember, when I have subtraction and addition, I round to decimal place. Okay, so I have one decimal place. I have one decimal place. I round to one decimal place. I have one decimal place. I have two decimal place. I round to one decimal place. Now I have to ask myself, if I have one decimal place from the first one, how many significant figure I have? Okay, so I find the answer. The answer is 28.1. Okay, 28.1. So one decimal place. Okay, one decimal place. So yes, that's just three significant digit, three significant figure. Okay, so how about the other one decimal place? Okay, so I just find the answer. So it is 100.62. Oh, if I have one decimal place, then I have four significant figure, and then I round to three significant figure. But now that I find all of these, I just enter all numbers all once in the calculator. And my calculator does this. My calculator does 28.1 times 100.62. My calculator does that. Or maybe many, many digits. But you don't need to show me that part. Just enter everything in your calculator. Okay? And just you need to show me this part. So 282. Okay, 28272827.422. Okay, and you want three significant figure. Okay, so do I have a space here? No. Okay, so now I underline that, I check that, and the answer is 2830 because I said three significant figure. Okay, so what I want to see is this part. Okay, what I want to see is just the conclusion at the end. Yes, of course. What I want to see is the real answer. What I want to see is this one when you decide, and just the answer at the end. Okay, these are things that I want to see. Okay, I do not want you to show me this part. I don't want to see this part. No, I don't want to see the blue part. I really don't need. You don't need to show me this. I just wanted to show you this is what your calculator does. That's it. But enter all the number in the calculator, and then at the end just there is answer. And also you underline, and also you check next one, and also you round. Yes, you show me all four parts, but you don't need to show me each process of each process of calculation. That is what your calculator is doing. So okay, so the blue part I don't need to see. Okay, so Okay, so it says do not add in numbers or brackets that they do not exist. Yes, of course. So, of course, I really don't need to mention because it's based on bed mass. But, for example, for this one, which one you do first? Okay, so can I zoom? Yeah. Okay, so here you do this one first, this one next, and this one three. Yes, of course, because you have bracket. Here, no, there is no bracket. So you need this one first, and then this one, and then this one. So they are not the same as each other. Hollow bed mass. Okay, so that's just or maybe just a mistake that some students do, but I really don't see, because I always emphasize on bed mass, bracket first, exponent next, multiplication division from left to right. So so students, they do a good job when they just follow bed mass and just do enough practice. Okay, so in order to just do more practice, you can do all of this practice here, so all of them here, and then at the end you can see all the answers. Okay, so and if you have any question, you can ask me. Consider all the numbers are approximate, also this and this, so all the numbers are approximate, and for example you can just round them, follow the question and see what you have to do here, and all of the answers are here, so you can check the answer and see, and if you have question, ask me. Okay, so here it starts from this part, and yes, it says assume all the numbers are approximate and round appropriately, we say. So if I say round appropriately, means I want you to follow, if it is multiplication, division, significant figure, the least one. If it's addition, subtraction, you go to the least decimal place. If it's combined, you have to do what I did. Okay, but remember, if it's combined or whatever it is, you have to enter all the digits in your calculator as you see. Okay, and then round at the end. Thank you so much. I continue to go to topic 3 after.